Hey, I'm Luke and welcome to my channel. This is Jibbertronics and today I am opening my second parcel that I've had shipped over from Japan. And today this was a really special one because this has a Pippin in it. Stick around to find out more. Okay, so as I was saying in my intro today, this is another package that I've had shipped over from Japan. I recently just got my Macintosh Color Classic 2 shipped over from there, and it's all working really well. As you would have seen if you've been watching and keeping up with my videos, check the link below to see the other videos that I've done on the Color Classic 2 that came from Japan. This one is another special one though. This is something again that's pretty rare and hard to come by in Australia. I was recently watching the Macdownunder Podcast with Justin and Matthew, and back in about November last year they did an episode on the Apple Pippin, which is effectively Apple's gaming console that they released in the 90s that effectively was a failure and didn't actually end up going anywhere really, and ended up getting cancelled when Steve Jobs came back to Apple. It piqued my interest. I think I remember seeing them back in the late 90s when they came out in magazines and stuff, but I'd never actually eyeballed one or seen it in person. And so the podcast piqued my interest. Again, I'll link down below so you can actually watch that Macdownunder Podcast. And also then I was down at the Mac Museum here in Victoria, and Justin had two of his Pippins set up there and doing network gaming between them. So it really intrigued me and it made me want to get one basically. Now the problem with them is that they are just ridiculously expensive. They are hard to come by. As I said, in Australia they were never released here. And they're just when they go up for sale, very, very expensive. So I've been stalking auction sites and various other places around the internet for several months. This one came up and effectively I watched it. And rather surprisingly, not many people bid on it. So effectively I got one. And so the actual cost that I paid for it was just under 300 Australian dollars, which is still quite a lot of money, but in comparison to what these things are selling for and what they're available for at the moment, that seems on the very cheap side. Most of them seem to be going for north of $500 generally. So it was sold as powers on. How much more it works from there is a bit of a mystery yet, but yeah, it looked in really good condition, and so I took a chance. And it's arrived. So that's what we've got in here today. I've also got a couple of accessories. I've got the controller for it, an adapter because I need to make a new controller adapter cable because the controller I have is the normal ADB style that they released for the Macintosh, not the actual ruggedized AD port that was on the front of the Pippin. So yeah, so that's what's in here. And then also there should, in theory, be a few Color Classic analog boards, because when I was starting that Color Classic 2 repair, I was obviously having initially problems with the analog boards. And so I hedged my bet because I saw an auction listing again on the same site that was three Color Classic analog boards in one lot, and I got them really cheap. So they were supposed to be not working. I just thought, well, I'll get them, might be able to repair them, and who knows. Now I've obviously got that Color Classic 2 analog board working now, so that will probably end up being a future video, because Color Classic analog boards are funny things and can be quite tricky from time to time. So anyway, I think it's time let's open this up and see what is in here. Okay, now to start, I think we've got yet again another really well packaged box here. It is very nicely packaged up and all feels nice and firm inside without anything rattling around, which is what you want when it's coming international. So let me just open this up and we'll see how we go. I think the thing that impresses me the most about the way these guys pack these boxes is that the boxes are effectively custom designed for what they're packaging. So it's, you can see that the way they've done it is they've effectively like cut through here on one side so that they can then fold it over. So effectively they're not using standardized size boxes. They're basically custom designing the box for the package, which is obviously why it all gets packed up so well. So here's our first little look at what we've got. So this is a Sega Game Gear versus cable. So this is the same cable or connector that they use on the front of the Pippin. So essentially my reason for getting this is so that I can create an adapter for ADB. So apparently it's a new one, and looks pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen one of these. I was not much of a Sega, or not at all a Sega game player in my younger years. So that's what we've got there. My intent is basically to cut this in half, and I'll be able to turn it into 2 adapters to standard ADB. So yeah, that was pretty cheap. That's I think it was like, I think I paid $13 for that. American style power cable that I will not be able to use. Interesting that, how it's got the earth adapter on it. I've never seen that before. It's like, that's interesting. All right. First thing I can see here is this is a Color Classic analog board. So just pop them over here for a minute. We've got 3 of those. Second one. These are the full thing as well. Everything seemed to be on them from what I could tell from the pictures. Again, funnily enough, no one bid on these, which was good. They don't look like they've been recapped. Looking at this one that I can actually kind of see in. It looks original, but it looks pretty clean. They were sold as not working. Now, who knows what that is going to mean for us. Oh, got some nice air packaging there, or like not air packaging, starch pin bubbles. What do we got? Okay, this is our Atmark controller. So this is essentially the controller, but it's the ADB style for Macintosh. That is new, effectively, in box. So that looks pretty good. And here we go. Again, very nicely packed. I love the way these guys pack things. This one was easier to open than the last one. Get rid of that. So, smaller than I was expecting, actually. Like, I know I saw one of these at the Mac Museum, but having it now here in my hands, and here it is. So there's all our ports at the back there, standard VGA, AV ports, serial ports, video out, and obviously, sorry, S video out, and a normal AV out. Obviously this looks like it's the ability to switch between NTSC and PAL, which is good, seeing we're in a PAL country here. Otherwise it looks really in good condition. Let's just see if our cable fits, and whether this was a wise choice or not. Yep, look at that. So they will work out well, I think, as our adapters. Yep. I haven't got the other end of that. I need the effectively the plug for ADB, which I should be able to get from J-Cup. So I looked that up a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, this is looking really good. Maybe a little bit more yellow than I was expecting, but it's not too bad really. I mean, if you've seen my videos on retro brighting, that is a small problem. It actually looks nice and clean, and yeah, in very good condition, and no obvious signs that there's anything nasty going on or nefarious going on inside. Again, it's a lot smaller. For some reason, I don't know, like I felt like it was going to be this big. But it's a nice little desktop sized unit. So maybe missing a foot. Is it missing a foot? No, just didn't quite sit level. Alright, let's have a look at our controller here and just see what we've got here. This box just feels old. It's got an old feeling about it. Yeah, this is definitely new. We have some paraphernalia in here. I assume this is the warranty card, which I can't read. And I'm assuming no longer valid. But yep. And then we've got some instructions, again in Japanese. Obviously never designed for multilingual, these manuals, not like when you get those manuals and they're effectively got every language in like a book that's about 50 pages. So yeah, this is looking good. Looks good. And our controller. Oh, we have a floppy disk. So it must be controller drivers for the Macintosh. Version 1.03. And there is our controller. Looks in good condition. Again, this obviously is the normal ADB, but I will, obviously that's why we have this cable to convert that. Sadly, this one didn't come with a controller, so I needed to purchase that separately again, but I got this one pretty cheap as well. This was, I think, cost me about $100, which again, you're just going, oh god, that's a lot of money for a controller. That's this old, but again, these things are just so rare and hard to come by. I was watching so many auctions for these on international sites to try and see and sort of get a gauge for what is a good price on them. So I think that's it looking really good. I think what we need to do now is, before I try powering this on, I want to open it up. It's got one of those half AA size batteries in it. One of these ones. Something like that. I want to get that off the logic board and just do a visual inspection to make sure everything looks all good before I turn it on. Okay, here we go. So we've got the Pippin on the bench. I've got all the parts that I think I need. Now, I've never pulled this apart before, so this will be the first time, but I have watched someone else do it on another video. So, essentially, let's just turn it upside down. Now it's obviously got two hatches in here. Now, they can actually stay there. I just want to have a look in them, though. I think this is an expansion slot. I think I saw on Justin's video on Macdownunder Podcast that he has a floppy drive module that sits on the bottom. I assume it plugs into that expansion slot there. I do not have that module, so we'll just put that back on. And then this one, I think, should be the memory upgrade port. Oh, and I think I've actually got something in here. How does this open? Jeez. See? Okay, like that. We do. Oh, we've got an 8 meg upgrade module. That's good. I didn't know that was in there. I think from my reading on this, they have 6 megs of RAM built into the circuit board, on the logic board, sorry. So that is another 8 on top of that 6. So gives us 14 megs of memory in total, which is good. That's a nice little surprise. I don't know how to remove that or do anything with it, so I'm just going to leave that there for the minute. All right. This is a T10 Torx screwdriver. So I'm just going to take these out. Definitely all the same type of screws. Making plastic creaks. Now, I don't think I've heard anything about these being brittle plastics. They're obviously the right vintage for them to be potentially brittle, but not anything I've heard about. So I'm going to assume it doesn't, and this one doesn't feel brittle either, to be honest. Like that door that I just opened then, it felt pretty strong. Now, the one trick I have seen with this is that apparently there's a ribbon cable that controls the buttons on the top. That comes from this side over here. So, how does one get this up? Oh, there we go. So that just lifts up like that and out. Now, I think what I do is if I do this like that, now, in the video I watched, that was apparently really hard to put back in. So I'm actually going to just leave that for the minute because I don't want to go into a major production mode of trying to get that in back in there at the moment. It looks nice and firmly in there. What can I do? I'm just going to get the controller box and just lean that up against that. Okay, now I believe we need to open the floppy drive. It's not the floppy drive, CD drive. I'm just going to use a paper clip to just pop that out like that. And now there is a screw right at the front, which I now can't show you because I'm doing this, but let me just put that back on there for a second. So if we look in here, there you go, you can see the screw that has appeared in there. Now, because I knew that was going to be difficult to get to, I've got this little stubby screwdriver, which means I should be able to just go in here like this and get it out. But it's a Torx screwdriver. Well, that's not very helpful. I'll have to use this again. There we go. It's just basically the same type of screw as what was in the feet as well. Now that should mean I should be able to pop these two things up here. Now I can see the battery already in there. I believe this has little latches on the sides here. Oh, really hard to get out. Little latches on the sides. There we go, that one popped. Oh, there we go. Just be a bit more careful with that. There we go, we'll just pull him out of the way. Everything has come off nice and easy there. Now we've got a Phillips head. So unscrew those. Now it's got one of those purple batteries in it by the looks of it, which, one of these ones. I've got one handy over here. Whatever brand these are. Tatarin. These ones, I don't think I've ever come across one of them that's leaked. So let's hope that is the continuing theme today with this. Now, how does one open this? Oh, I see. It's actually got 2 screws down here. I'm going to need that stubby screwdriver now after all. There we go. It's got 2 holding it on the front here as well by the looks of it. No, I am confused now what I'm supposed to do to release that. Okay, a slight jump cut there. I ended up taking this off completely because I didn't want to damage this ribbon cable, so I've now removed that. And I think I've worked it out. Basically, because I can actually take it off the base, because that is not attached anymore. So I'll just pop him over there. And then I worked out that if I just sort of sit it towards the front of my desk here, I can then just do a little bit of a pry with a flathead screwdriver just to get it to start moving. It was just tight. I don't think this has ever been really opened. So basically, there we go. That all lifts up. And then I believe, I'm just going to go to the back here. Oh, out comes the tray. We've got some tight cables. I've got an audio cable there that is very tight. I'm just going to release this. Oops, sorry, I didn't realise it wasn't off. I was off camera there for a second. There's an audio cable there that was just under a catch there. I'm just going to release him and unplug it. And see, there we go. I'll just remove him from the logic board. And then we'll just sit the whole thing up like that. Look at that. I'm just going to move this camera a bit. Nope, and we'll just go forward. Okay, so that's the inside. There's our battery. How much voltage do we reckon he's got? Now I need to do some research actually on this a little bit more. I believe this is the ROM chip here, and I don't know why, but the video I was watching before referred to, oh there you go, 0.017 volts. There's not much going on with that battery. It made reference to that being a, if that ROM's there, that could be a prototype one. I don't know whether that's true or not though. It says Kinker. I'll look into what that is, but I believe that's something to do with the ROM, or is the ROM. I will have to do some researching, and I will probably put a text overlay on whether I'm talking rubbish or not. Now we'll just release this. This just looks like your standard old Mac battery. Out he comes. And put him with those other ones that I've got over there. Now I actually have here one of these CR2032 toasters, so I'm actually going to put that in here while I've got it open. Much less likely to leak. I just need a battery, which I believe I have up here. There we go. So pretty easy to get in too. It doesn't look pretty simple inside. I feel like when I've got some more time, I want to pull this apart and have a more detailed look at the internals of it. It all looks very nice and clean. This was obviously kept in a really good environment. There's hardly any dust. It's got a little fan at the back here. I don't know how noisy that is. So positive to that side. So we'll just pop him in there. And now we'll see whether we're getting a bit of voltage on that. 3.321, that's a bit better than what we had. I don't know what the actually uses the battery for these things. I assume it's keeping system time. Probably settings maybe. Again, that's probably another bit of research I shall have to do. All right. So I think that's all I'm going to do inside with this now. Oh yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I didn't have to undo those screws, but no, it definitely did. So now I'm just going to put this back, make sure we connect that audio cable back to the logic board. As you can see what I'm doing there, it's basically that going onto that plug there, which now that I've removed it seems easier to say than actually do. There we go. Pop him back on. And I'll just pop that cord back in that little cable tidy that's up the back there. I'm looking through the holes to see what I'm doing here. But basically that little nubbin there is a cable tidy. Okay. I don't think I've put that on right. I think that is on wrong. I think that needs to just overlap on the back there. Now, as far as testing this goes, I think it's just going to be a quick power on test to actually see if it turns on, and then I'm going to have to do some research to find some titles to try in it. I've made a mistake. I have made a mistake here. I've got one lip out and one lip in. And that one there needs to go in. I'm going to have to undo that again. No such luck. Front ones need to come out as well. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to be. All right, that one should have been out as well. It's interesting design this, actually, when I think about it. Like the whole unit is effectively just in this inner shell and the plastic is just an outer surround. Okay, now I just need to put the front back in. I'm just going to bring it forward again so I can get in with my screwdriver. So I know this is slightly off camera. I'm sorry about that. Now that I've done this, it's now proving very difficult to actually... Oh, actually, hold on. That needs to... I'm putting that screw in before I've actually put the front bezel back on. So that should just clip in there like that. Now I need to get that screw. There we go. Shuts up nicely. Now we just need to put the top base back on, and in order to do that I obviously now need to reinsert this. my God. I don't think I ever want to do that again in my life. I think that's in. It feels like it's in. Basically, in the end, I had to use these flat little tweezers. It's got basically like a bit of plastic on the end of it, which gives it a bit of rigidity. But I needed to... oh, thank God. I needed to basically use that to sort of get it, the oomph to push it in. Far out. I'm actually just going to see whether it turns on first, and then we'll go from there before I screw this up. Give it some power. Obviously that ribbon cable controls all these switches, so even without me plugging anything else into this, I should be able to test this. All right, power is on the power point, and power. Oh, thank God, that ribbon cable is in. It's turned on. Gee, the fan sounds noisy. I might have to get a new fan for this. Oh good, tray opens. All right, let's turn that off. Let's button this up and then let's turn it on, and that'll do us for today, I think, after that. Because the next step will be get some games or something that I can actually test. I left one of my hairs attached to it. Again, watching Justin's Macdownunder Podcast, apparently the discs need to be pippinized, is I think the word he used. But apparently you can download the old games for it. I did look around to try and see whether I could buy a game, but just people were, like, the prices they were asking for actual genuine games was like $300 or $200 or something like that. It was ridiculous. So I have not got any official games for it. I think I should be able to rustle something up. I believe anyway, but that will be the next test, I guess. I just can't believe how hard that ribbon cable was to put back in. That, I actually don't know how long that took me. I will obviously check that when I watch the video back. All right, buttons up. Everything looks all right. VGA. Audio out. Sorry, S-video out, I mean. Which actually, S-video is just a ADP looking style port. But then we've got an AV port, 2 audios out, 2 audio in, a serial cable, so printer and a modem. I believe you can get a modem adapter. Now, I don't actually have a good way of getting VGA into my HDMI input handy today, so I'm going to do something a little bit jury-rigged. I have, if I switch to my other camera now, up here on the top of my desk, see, there's my hand, hello. I have a Commodore monitor up there, which is turned on at the moment. That also gives us some nice audio out as well, which is convenient. And has AV port cables. So we're just going to plug this in. That. Bring our power cable back. All right, let's see whether this beastie works. Power is on. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Pippin. That's a funny sound, startup sound. Oh, look at that. It's working. Oh, you can see a mouse pointer. Looks like it's booting all right. Wow, that fan noise is just so noisy. And then, as far as I know, that is all this does, and without some sort of disk, because ultimately the disk is what has the operating system on it. So this is effectively the equivalent of a flashing floppy disk icon on a Mac, I guess. Fancy icon. Look at that CD flying in there. I'm just going to turn this off, and I'm just going to just go up a little bit closer to the mic while I turn it back on again. Yep, definitely says Pippin. That's funny. I like that. Now, I did have a theory of something that might work. Obviously, that cable I detached and then reattached inside here before to take the cover, or take the insides out, was a audio cable from the CD. So I believe this actually can play audio disc. So I have this. There we go. ABC Classic FM. ABC is Australian Broadcasting Commission. So this is a classic. What does it say? Music for a relaxing weekend. Sounds very nice. Probably won't be able to let that play on YouTube because I might get a copyright strike out of it. So I just want to see whether this actually plays. Oh, I can hear it spinning the drive up. Oh, it's detected it. Ooh, look at that fancy interface. Now, play. Oh, yep, there we go. It's playing. I'm just going to talk over this because I don't want it to do anything that I shouldn't do. So I'm just going to turn that down a little bit just so we can't hear it too much. But yeah, there we go. That works. Can I skip tracks? Oh, that doesn't actually skip track. That just jumps it forward like 3 seconds. I don't know how to skip it forward. What does this do? That's volume. Volume. Pause. Play. And it stops. I think I need a controller plugged in to be able to actually skip tracks. Because all this is doing is skipping it forward a bit. That one doesn't do anything. Because I'm pushing the wrong button. I was looking at the screen and not looking at what I was pushing. Yeah, that jumps it backwards. Yeah, that just seems to jump it forward a little bit. Okay. Well, that's working. That's excellent. I'm very happy about that. It survived the journey from Japan. All right. Let's eject that. Good old music CD. I think that was... oh, there we go. Just Pippin night again. I think I've got this in an old iMac. It was in the slot loader iMac, I think, from memory. There we go. So that's done. I think that will do us for today. I'm really happy with that. That's come up. The fact that that's working is really great. So the next steps with this is I need to using this Versus cable that we got. I want to basically effectively cut it in half, get some S-Video plugs or for ADV, and turn that into an adapter so that I can use my controller with it. And as I said, I will do some research in the meantime and try and burn a disc or two that I'll be able to use in this. But yeah, I'm really pumped that that's working. I'm just going to turn it back on again because I like the whole Pippin noise thing. Volume up a bit louder. There we go. And here we go. Pippin. All right, cool. So next step is to do all that and actually let's try playing a game on it. So might take a little bit of time just to get what I need to do there, but look forward to seeing that in the coming weeks. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video today. It's something a little bit different, not something I've ever touched before, so it's nice to actually do it. It's good that that battery was not exploded inside or anything like that. And also the memory module that's in this, giving it 14 megs of RAM. That's great. I'm very happy about that as well, because I don't think they're really available. I think I've seen one of those on a website. Again, hundreds of dollars was the price someone was asking for them. So yeah, I think that'll do us for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and please leave comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you've actually got a Pippin and you've played with them. If you've got any suggestions on games that would be good for me to try, let me know. I would love to hear from you. If you did like the video, please like it, and hit me up with a subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of the Pippin. Oh, the Pippin just decided to Pippin me just randomly as well, just spontaneously. It's just still on that screen. So there you go. That's it. Thanks everyone for hanging out today, and I'll see you next time. See you later. Bye. Pippin.